Good morning, I'm Michles, and thanks for joining us for today's installment of our video blog. We're here at the Pensacola office of Michles & Booth, where we've been here for a while now, haven't we, Blake? Got my behind-the-scenes camera guy, Blake. We don't give him enough credit for what goes on here in the video blog. We're going to give him a little shout-out this morning. I want to talk to you about something that is always on the mind of personal injury clients that I've had for 30 years. They all have the same concern initially, and it's a valid concern, and that is, how am I going to get my bills paid? If you've been in a car accident and you go by ambulance to the emergency room, within a week you're going to start getting bills, and you're going to be wondering almost instantly, who's going to pay these bills? Now, if you look on our site and you go to the archives for these video blogs, you'll find me talking about personal injury protection, which is PIP, or the no-fault statute in Florida, which provides $10,000 in health care benefits to you regardless of fault. If you caused the accident, you still get $10,000 in coverage, and I direct you back to the archives to talk about that or to look that up. Or you can give me a call and I'll explain it to you then. But for today's purposes, we're going to ask and try to answer, what happens after that $10,000? I mean, you know, if you've gone to the emergency room and you go, particularly if you went by ambulance, that $10,000 went pretty fast. And what if you don't have health insurance? How do you get health care? Well, one of the benefits to hiring a personal injury lawyer, and not all personal injury lawyers are created equal, but if you get a good one, and there are a lot of good ones out there, but if you get a good one, they'll explain to you that oftentimes healthcare providers will treat you for your injuries and do it on what's called a letter of protection. And a letter of protection is just a fancy way of saying an IOU. Maybe I'm too old to remember this, but if you see the old card games being played and guys would write out a piece of paper and put it in the center of the pot, and that's an IOU, a certain amount of money. Well, there's the similar concept in an LOP, a letter of protection, that doctors and lawyers and personal injury clients sign, which say that when the case is settled, then some of the proceeds of that case go directly to the healthcare provider to pay them back for the services they provided. Now, many healthcare providers don't accept letters of protection. And that's one of the reasons that you should shop carefully for an attorney, because a lot of times the treatment that you receive and the availability to get an LOP is dependent upon the relationship between your lawyer and the medical community. In other words, if you come see me, I've been doing this for a long time, over 30 years, and I know a lot of medical doctors and a lot of medical providers in this community, as does our whole law firm. So when we call them and we say, listen, we've got a patient here that needs to be seen for headaches or back pain or neck pain or what have you, and we call the right specialist, we can talk them through the case, explain to them what the likelihood of the case resolving favorably is. We will have looked at the insurance available. We'll make a representation to the healthcare provider of what the likelihood is of success. And that allows the healthcare provider to determine whether to gamble, in a sense, their time and their resources on the promise to be paid at the end of the case. Now, there are no guarantees, but the better the lawyer is, the better the lawyer should be at recognizing and evaluating the likelihood of success. Now, if you think about it from simply human relationship standpoints, if I've got a client that needs to see a neurosurgeon, and I call the neurosurgeon and I say, hey, I need you to see this patient who's got a bad problem. Now, if I send them the patient and they do thousands of dollars worth of care, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars if it's a neurosurgeon and surgery is required, and if I can't successfully resolve the claim down the road, I've saddled the doctor with thousands of dollars in uncollectible bills, and I've saddled the patient or my client with thousands of dollars in debt owing to pay those bills. Not a very happy outcome, right? So it's dependent upon my ability to evaluate the case and predict the variables that will lead to success so that I don't saddle the healthcare provider with an uncollectible treatment bill, and I don't saddle my client or the patient with an unpayable medical bill. So there's a lot of variables that go into that. That's why at the end of these things, I often tell you the same thing. When you choose your lawyer, choose them carefully. One of the ways that you can tell a lawyer from another is obviously to ask around and look at online reviews and use the tools that you would ordinarily use. But one of the ways that I like is just look at the board certification of the lawyer. All lawyers take a Florida bar exam. It's not an easy test to pass. You got to go to law school. It's not that hard. It's not that easy, but it takes time. But not every lawyer, in fact, very few. Last time I checked, there were only about 50 of us in this community that are board certified by the Florida Bar. That's an additional level of certification. I feel comfortable recommending to anyone that if they seek out and use a board certified civil lawyer, they're making a good choice. Not just us, not just me, but anywhere in the community. When you get out of that 40, 45, 50 board certified civil trial lawyers, then you've got to rely on some subtleties in choosing the lawyer. And one of the very important things I would add before we cut off for today is this. Sit down with your lawyer, interview the lawyer, feel comfortable with the lawyer before you hire them. It's just a human relationship, and it's a professional relationship that requires some instinct and some gut feeling. If you don't have the right lawyer, you're making a bad decision, and you should know that at the time. Well, that's all we've got for today. If you got questions about letters of protection or how to get your bills paid, give me a call. I'll be happy to answer them. If you can find our website at don'tbeavictim.com/blog, you'll find our videos archived and Blake's hard work put together there, and we'll see you next week.